Members of council, thank you for having us up here today. What we're actually going to do is walk you through a very brief mid-year presentation for 2017 so far. We've organized today's presentation according to our strategic plan, so using our three main pillars. I'll be providing just a very brief introduction, and then I'll invite Frank Mazzata, our Manager of Parks Development and Operations, to present the first strategic pillar. He'll be followed by Paul Newman, who will present our second strategic pillar, and Carolyn Brown, who will present the third. What you're going to notice actually through today's presentation is that we have a section on the side of the slides called By the Numbers. So what that is a collection of statistics, KPIs, and departmental information that we've used to really hone in and provide a unique lens into the town operations, something that we may have not presented to the public previously. So what I wanted to do is just give you a really high-level overview of some of those numbers before we get started. One of the interesting statistics that we continue to bring back to council at these different updates is the number of new homes that are occupied. So at mid-year this year, we had about 850 new homes occupied. When we multiply that by the average number of 3 per home, that's about 3,200 new residents that we've had so far this year. And those numbers, when we have the increase in residents, inform other numbers that you'll see throughout the presentation. So for example, the number of calls that we've had into customer service this year. We're sitting at about 1,400. That's increased each year due to the number of new residents coming in, new concerns that we're dealing with. Another number that we'd like to point out on this slide here is one that we're always proud of, and that's 0, the total amount of municipal debt that the organization has. I'd also like to provide just a really brief financial update. We're tracking on target to meet the cost reductions that we sent out in the 2017 budget, and staff are already working on preparing the 2018 budget for you, and that would be kicking off on October 17th. We do identify a few budget pressures. They're both growth-related and contractual, but we are working to mitigate those so that when we bring it back in October, we'll already have some examples for you. Just a couple capital projects as well that we wanted to note. We're tracking on time and on budget, so they're highlighted here on the slides. And what you'll actually see in September is you're going to see a few project updates on these major ones. And now I'll pass it to Frank, who will take you through the first strategic pillar.
Thank you, Lauren. Good morning. Today I'll be covering Pillar 1 of the strategic plan. This pillar provides quality, affordable programs and services for a safe, accessible, and livable community. This means that we are looking to ensure our town has necessary community-wide services and programs in all areas, including safety, recreation, and arts. It's about creating a place where people can become a part of the community by providing feedback and volunteering. One of the most important and fundamental needs of any community is safety. As such, in 2017, Emergency Services was rebranded to the Emergency and Community Safety Services, which now includes the town's bylaw department. This will allow for improved collaboration and allows for the team to continue their commitment to teaching and promoting the first 2 lines of defense. These 2 lines are public education and prevention. In 2016, 12 new public education programs were introduced, and over 10,000 residents received education on fire prevention and safety. Since January 2017, the branch has introduced another 6 new programs, with 8 more to launch over the remainder of the year. This is part of the department's commitment to reaching 10% more residents each year. One of the town's key partners is the EG Public Library. As part of the library's 2012 to 2017 strategic plan, they have expanded to include opportunities for learning and development in science, technology, math, as well as a focus on increasing their engagement with the community. 2017 focused specifically on developing community engagement, and as part of their mandate, they introduced several new programs, including teaching digital literacy skills to residents of New Leaf and seniors in the community. The town also currently maintains over 250,000 square feet of facility space. This number is set to grow by approximately 150,000 square feet over the next few years, with the addition of the Health and Active Living Plaza and the new Operations Center. Both of these projects are funded through development charges and community capital contributions. They will add much needed facility space to the town. Plans for the Health and Active Living Plaza continue to move along. In 2017, staff conducted meetings with over 15 potential partners, such as the YMCA, York Regional Police, and the Region of York, to discuss service delivery through this unique space as discussed. The goal of this building is to bring together a variety of partners in one convenient and complementary location. Staff have spent time this year working with communications to develop a service pods delivery concept to organize those partners and services under the 4 main categories. These categories are health services, active living, learning, arts, culture, and diversity, public and social services. These pods will not only be branded for the space, but will physically help group the various partners within the facility. A report will be coming in the fall with additional updates on this area. The new Operations Center is another major joint departmental project. Staff continue to move forward with the procurement process, and 9 construction firms have been successfully pre-qualified. A report will be coming in the fall with a further update, and tendering is expected in the fall and winter of 2017. This year, Canada celebrated its 150th anniversary of Confederation. As part of those celebrations, East Gwillimbury expanded our summer line of events to include weekly concerts, movies in the park, which were sponsored by TD Bank. Feedback has been great on all events, and we hope to continue to move forward in 2018 with a core summer event schedule of 3 movies and 6 concerts. In 2017, the town was also awarded with a Parks and Recreation Ontario Award for our role in the Drop Zone Fair Access Partnership Program. This program was a region-led initiative for at-risk youth. The town led the after-school program once a week for the entire school year. It was aimed at students from grades 5 to 8, and weekly attendance for this program was between 15 and 20 students from both Holland Landing Public School and Good Shepherd. The students have a variety of programs, including Lego robotics and art classes. A new word that we hear quite often is engagement. For us, at the town, it means a variety of things. It means residents have the opportunity to engage with staff and volunteers, and it also means that they have the opportunity to provide feedback and share their thoughts on town programs and services. Over the last year, staff have worked to provide opportunities for feedback through public meetings, online surveys, and engaging with residents using new digital methods such as social media. By trying different methods of engagement, we can learn how that works and how we can better reach our audiences. The first of a new annual communication survey was completed in January and provided feedback as to how residents would like to receive town news and information. Many of the residents indicated they would like to receive town news and information through email. In fact, the town has had an e-newsletter for quite some time. Staff took this feedback and have been advertising the e-newsletter more proactively, including adding a sign-up questionnaire to every survey the town puts out to the public. As a result of this promotion, we have more than doubled our number of e-news subscribers. This has been a great resource for us and has been highly effective. Our open rate of the e-news is 52.5%, whereas the average open rate for government agencies is about 21 to 22%. It's a big increase. So I'm going to pass this off to Paul Newman for Pillar 2.
Thank you, Frank. Members of Madam Mayor, members of council, it's my opportunity to speak to you today on Pillar 2. This pillar focuses on ensuring that we are building a complete community that provides healthy places to live, work, play, and learn. What that means is we are focused on the responsible growth of our community, ensuring that we have the proper infrastructure in place and balance of jobs to homes. We also look for partnerships to help with innovation and sustainability and to protect our natural heritage. As we move through this first phase of growth and prepare for the second phase, the building department continues to be extremely busy, as you can see by the numbers on the screen. As mentioned earlier in our presentation, we're currently sitting at approximately 850 occupancies for this year. That is expected to double by the end of the year, just under 1,700 occupancies. So that's a huge growth for our municipality. And as part of moving through this unprecedented growth for EG, we want to ensure that we have the right people doing the right work while reviewing and evaluating our processes, ensuring that we're meeting the needs of both our residents and our developers that are building this unprecedented growth in our community. Our planning department is also extremely busy as we move forward with several applications and policy initiatives. A couple of the more prominent initiatives are the Green Lane Secondary Plan and the Zoning Bylaw Review, which has had many opportunities for the public to review earlier in this year. The Zoning Bylaw Review will also have an additional opportunity for public feedback this fall. The Green Lane Secondary Plan has been one of our most active posts this year on social media, as we find residents are very passionate about this space. With the new provincial growth and intensification requirements, residents can expect higher densities, including apartment buildings along this corridor, as a major hub for public transportation with quick connections to the GO station and other modes of public transportation. But based on public feedback, there is a desire to have mixed space use buildings with cafes, pedestrian trails, resulting in more of a Main Street feel as opposed to a big box feel. Our CIS group is busy implementing a variety of capital projects throughout the town. Some of the highlights for 2017 include working with Vince's in support of a detailed design of Leslie Street servicing and initiating two master plans, the water wastewater and the transportation master plan. Master plans are typically redone or updated every 4 to 7 years. Our master plans, both the water wastewater and the transportation master plan, was last looked at in 2009. With these updated master plans, we will use these to ensure the previous assumptions made in 2009 are correct, and they will also assist with providing background for our anticipated update to the 2018 development charges update as well. The engineering team is responsible for monitoring new subdivisions. There are currently 26 new active subdivisions within the town. The sites are being monitored daily and proactively inspected by staff. These inspections include monitoring earthworks, underground servicing, road and sidewalk construction, lot grading, start of maintenance inspections, as well as assumption inspections. Staff also monitor mud, dust, noise related to new development. The operations department continues to grow as our population and infrastructure grows. Part of this pillar is looking for a partnership and opportunities for grants to advance the needs of the town. This group has been successful in both of these areas. In January of this year, the town entered into our second group contract for waste collection by partnering with the N6 municipalities. The town was able to reduce the costs and provide an increased level of service to our customers. This was an area identified through public feedback and became a key component in this new contract. Staff wanted to ensure that there would be additional accountability to ensure quality of service to our residents. There will be an improved customer service call center, which will use key performance indicators and monitoring to ensure that no less than 75% of the phone calls are answered within the first 20 seconds with a one and done concept. The residents will have their needs addressed on a single contact. CIS was also successful in receiving grant funding to support two key infrastructure projects. The first, the West Street Sanitary Pumping Station. And secondly, the assessment of the town's current stormwater management system and the development of an and the development of operational guidelines ensuring the town is compliant with both the LSRCA and MOECC guidelines. We think about building a better community. We have all-encompassing vision. It isn't about just roads, homes, and businesses, but it's also about the parks, open spaces, and trails the residents and visitors enjoy. This is one of the unique aspects of East Gwillimbury. With the interconnected trail system throughout the town, and as we continue to grow, you will see many new parks, trails opening throughout the year. One of the new trails, which is close to completion, is the Peggy's Wood Trail in Harvest Hills. This trail is surrounded by natural heritage, wetlands, and connects the community of Harvest Hills with Peggy's Wood Trail and also the trail system in Newmarket. Paving is required. This trail requires some additional paving to stop some erosion due to some steeper grades at the entry point of the trail. A request for funding to complete this paving will be included as part of this mid-year report as a recommendation. Frank and Aaron, if there's any questions, Frank and Aaron can probably answer those questions on that. One of economic development's major projects for the year was to provide support to York Region's Connect to Innovate Fund. Over 300 residents responded to the town's survey requesting data about their internet providers. The data collected was then mapped by the town's IT department using our GIS system. That information was provided to York Region to support a grant application to access federal grant money to build additional high-speed internet infrastructure in East Gwillimbury, which we expect to hear back later this fall on the successfulness of that grant application. York Region's proposal outlined expanding the YTN network through EG and the other northern municipalities. Thank you for the opportunity to present on Pillar 2. I will now turn it over to Carolyn Brown for Pillar 3.
Thanks, Paul. As Laura mentioned, my name's Carolyn Brown, and I'm pleased to present today the update on our third strategic pillar. Pillar 3 focuses on creating and maintaining a high-performance municipal organization committed to service and excellence. We strive to operate in a fiscally responsible manner while providing excellent customer service to our residents. Ensuring transparency and accountability is also important to us here at EG. We're working to market the town to attract responsible investments and recruit a strong staff team who will ensure that we continue to achieve all the goals that we've set for ourselves today. There have been many changes in the customer service area over the last 6 months, including hiring a customer service supervisor and a full-time staff team. They've been busy answering more than 14,000 calls over the past 6 months. We've introduced a customer service relationship tool, which is an integrated web-based tracking system that monitors and records all customer service interactions. So any requests that are received from a customer, whether at the counter, through email, over the phone, they're entered into the system and they can be actioned if required for follow-up by the operations department. The operations department is able to action the work order and process it into a service ticket that can be tracked and monitored by customer service. The rollout of the system is still in early stages, but we're already seeing efficiencies in our processes here at the town. The tool is very helpful because it's a centralized place for information to be shared and accessed by all departments, which is helpful, for example, in an instance where a water locate is being set up and the operations department is entering information about what's happening with the request. Customer service has the ability to access the information and provide live status updates to customers as they require it. As we continue to grow, tools like this will be invaluable to us to increase efficiencies and deal with our growing number of residents. Much of what goes on at the town is made possible by our great IT department. In June, Council recognized both staff from the town and the region on their very hard work in developing an online self-serve portal for GIS. We now have access to detailed mapping software, which is helpful to all town departments in their tracking. It allows staff to see real-time information about roads, dwelling units, occupancy, parks, servicing, and we can even track street trees in our community. Another area of great success is our enhanced cybersecurity. As we continue to rely more and more on electronic files, it's pertinent that IT be diligent regarding the cybersecurity of the town's systems. So far this year, they've completed an external firewall audit, and they're in the process of implementing advanced threat protection, which greatly reduces our risk of cyber attack. As you can see, more than 500,000 emails have been blocked, which is about 1 in 5 of what's received here at the town so far this year. The finance department has seen a significant increase in workload over the last 6 months, which is largely due to the increase in new residents moving to the town. In response to the increase, finance has worked with customer service and communications to create a more efficient process for setting up new water accounts. Previously, this was a manual process, and it required between 10 to 15 minutes per new account that customer service representatives were required to spend to input the data. But our new online system allows new residents to go onto our website and fill out a form to enter all their data that goes directly to the finance department, and it's automated the setup of these new accounts. This process is just one of many examples of self-serve and online tools we're using to be more and more efficient as the town grows. The Legal and Clerks Department have now combined to make legal and counsel support services. There's been significant work behind the scenes on legal agreements and the electoral review over the past 6 months. It's been important to ensure that the town's conforming to the necessary legislative requirements in this regard. This work is being undertaken in addition to the significant increase in the Freedom of Information requests and Committee of Adjustment applications. In fact, Freedom of Information requests have doubled this year, from 21 in July of 2016 to 45 this year. From 2015 to 2017, Committee of Adjustment applications have more than tripled as a direct result of new development, and we expect this trend to continue as the town grows. Lastly, it's important to note that the hard work of town employees here is attributed to an extremely passionate and dedicated group of people. Our Human Resources Department has used the Shamrock model to balance the team here at EG and make the most appropriate use of full-time, part-time, contract, and consultant staff with unique expertise that they can bring to the table here. It seems to be working. So far, we've received more than 1,300 job applications, so it seems that people really want to work at EG. Through continued recruitment and training, the town's investing in the right people for the right jobs. So I'm now going to pass it back to Laura to conclude.
Thank you. So that actually concludes our formal presentation. I just really like to thank the whole management team who all pulled together to put all of this information together. It was a very collaborative effort, and I think it really demonstrates the great progress that we've made so far this year, but as well as part of our advancing our strategic goals for this term of council.